Okay, last day we have discussed about how to safely use computer laboratory, right? We consider about two facts. One is safety of you, the other one is safety of lab equipment, right? Safety of you and safety of lab equipment. The related tutor will be delivered to you, actually will be available by next week, right? So you can collect that. So then this is in the chapter number 2. We have already discussed about the computer and its equipment. In the chapter number 2, we need to discuss about the safety use of the computer. Right. We learn about your safety and how you can assure your safety, especially. So these computers are electronic devices. So it's working with the power, electricity. Therefore, you need to use it safer way. Otherwise, so there is a potentiality to get electric shock, which can be even deadly. So be careful. Always check the wires. Check whether these wires are properly connected. If you see any kind of smoke or short or power leak, if you feel or if you see fire, something, be alert, report immediately to your teacher, and please note the exit also, because you need to exit from the lab as soon as you see some like inappropriate occurrence or inappropriate thing. So that you need to be aware. Again, also be aware about the fire extinguishers so these are used to control the fire. So this is actually liquid carbon dioxide. So when you are aware about this, when you aware about these extinguishers and the location, so then either you can control, but don't control it so without acknowledging your parents or teachers. So first of all, check for an adult. If an adult is there, so show him or her this fire extinguisher and also show the suspicious occurrence, suspicious incident. So then they will use it, but don't try to use it by your own. So because that is also dangerous, right? So and avoid running and playing inside the laboratory. That is also, you need to comply with that as well. And for safety of the device, safety of you, this is for safety of you, for the safety of the device. So what you can do? First, you have to maintain a dust-free environment. That means you need to clean the laboratory at least, but if you can clean daily, it is really good, right? If you can clean this daily, it's really, really good. But if you at least clean it once a week, right? Clean it once a week, because so this dust and pollen can damage the devices. Even your room is air conditioned, even your laboratory is sealed, air conditioned, still dust will come. But you can minimize it. How you can contribute to minimize dust? Yes? How you can contribute? How you can minimize dust, Pute? By doing what? Yes. How to control dust? One is cleaning. Cleaning can be used to control dust. So what else other than cleaning?
Remove the shoes.
Yes. When you enter a laboratory, you better remove the shoes. Why?
Because the dust is coming inside the laboratory.
Yes, dust coming inside the laboratory with the shoes, because you are wearing it outside. When you come to lab, even though you try to clean it, so there can be some dust hidden there, so it can enter to the lab. Therefore, it is better to remove the shoes. And also, it is better to clean it regularly. And without proper instructions, do not supply power. Sometimes when you go to the lab, you might see a computer is there. When you try to turn on, it's not working, right? Let's say there is a computer. You try to turn on the computer, but the computer is not turning on. Here you try, but it's not turning on. Then you check the wire, and you can see there is a wire a plug, but this plug is removed from the switch. You can see there is a plug, and this plug is not properly connected. So the wire is not connected to the plug. So what you can do now? Think about the incident.
Properly connect the wire.
Yes, properly connect the wire, but before connect, you have to ask from your teacher why this is unplugged. Neither. Otherwise, what will happen? Let's say, right? Let's think about situation.
This will get electric shock.
Sorry.
We will get an electric shock.
Yes. Sometimes this is unplugged due to some error, sparking or something. Because of that reason, this is unplugged. Sorry. Yes. This can be due to some other critical error. Maybe there is a bad smell inside machine. Something like burning smell. සමහරවිට පිච්චෙන සුවඳක් වගේ ඇවිල්ලා වෙන්න පුළුවන් ටීචර් මේක ගලවලා තියෙනවා. Maybe smoke, it generates smoke when you plug the machine. මේ machine එක plug කරාම පොඩි දුමක් වගේ යනවා. ඒ හින්දා වෙන්න පුළුවන් ටීචර් මේක ගලවලා තියෙනවා. Maybe kind of sparking. current එක spark වෙලා හරි එතන හිටපු ළමයකට current එක වැදිලා. එහෙම වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් මේක ගලවලා තියෙනවා. Right? So be careful, don't plug it. If it is removed, it can be purposely. So do not supply power without asking, without correct instructions. So be careful, even though you can see the plug is removed. First of all, ask from teacher. Teacher, why this plug is removed? Is it okay to plug this? Then teacher will respond. Yeah, you can do that. Then you can do. Otherwise, don't directly plug it, right? Because this can be removed due to some reason. Without knowing the reason, do not plug the power. And after you use this, after the usage, you can properly shut down, turn off, and keep it in the right place. Right? After using, you need to properly shut down, turn off, and keep it in the right place it belongs to. Also, refrain from bringing food and water inside or into the lab, because the wastages, maybe even it is like invisible. Let's say you bring some sweet or something, sugar, something like that. Maybe invisibly, so you cannot see that, but so 1 or 2, maybe even in a liquid, let's say fruit juice, something. So 1 or 2 drops can be fallen into the keyboard or somewhere. You cannot see that properly. But later, insects will feel that. Insects will feel that, and they will actually, those insects will come to find the food. They will go inside the keyboard. Ultimately, it will damage the keyboard. Therefore, don't just bring not even a single drop. Don't bring it to the lab. Refrain or avoid from bringing food, water, and other liquids into the lab, because without your knowledge, it can. So sometimes it can be, you can see sometimes when you fall into the lab, you can see and you can clean it. But so let's see, if you don't know about the situation, if you ignore the situation, then it can damage the computer. So refrain from begin such. And another thing, this is very important, but so this is last but very important thing. You must follow this when you're doing. So how many of you are using pen drives? Can you tell me? Please raise your hand if you're using pen drives. Or if you have used pen drives, please raise your hand. Okay, a lot. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8. How many of you are using memory cards? Memory cards? I can see few, 3, 4. Okay, how many of you are using external hard drives? Okay, 3. Anyway, these are storage mediums. These are used to keep some files. ඔයාලා මේව පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුතේ මොන හරි files තියාගන්න. සමහරට films වෙන්න පුළුවන්, පින්තූර වෙන්න පුළුවන්, software වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නේද? You can keep files inside this external drives. It can be pen drive, it can be memory card, it can be any other software.
Sir,
Yes, Pute.
sir, now instead of a pen drive, now I'm using an external hard disk.
It can be external hard disk, anything. But normally we used to plug this to different devices. No, we used to plug this to different devices. Let's say you want to get a printout, then you might go to a shop and plug this to their machine. When you want to bring some files to school, you go and plug this in your school machine. When you bring that home, you plug into the computer at home. Normally, you are plugging this to different computers. Maybe you can plug this to your brother's computer, your mother's computer, father's computer, office computer, or it can be school computer in your school or in other school, or in a communication, in a shop, right? You can plug this into different places. Right? You can plug this into different places. But so this is like COVID. In the COVID period, we used to go outside, but when we come inside, what we need to do? Right? When we go outside and come inside, we need to do? What you're going to do?
We need to wash our hands.
Yes, you need to clean yourself. You need to wash your hands, clean yourself, maybe remove the shoes, or
Footwears.
yes, remove and clean your dresses.
Can I sanitize?
Sanitize. Yes, when you go outside and come, you do these tasks. So you need to do similar thing when you plug this to another computer. You need to sanitize, but you can't sanitize a pen drive, no. What you have to do? The sanitizing is you have to do the virus scanning. That is how you sanitize the pen drive, right? Yes, Sanugi? Any question?
Is there any virus scanning app on the computer?
Virus scanning?
On the computer.
Yes. In Windows, you have Defender. In Windows, there is a software called Defender by default. But so if you don't have Defender or some other software, you can install one, a new software to scan the viruses. But yes. Yes, Kaspersky, AVG, Avira, there are a lot. Avast, Panda. So yes, you have. Yes, Bitdefender, ESET. Yes.
Excuse me, sir. I have to say, can you let me share my screen? I can't tell. It is a lot of files and there's a virus scanning. Can I share my screen and show you that?
Yeah, show it quickly, Pute. But pennannako. Okay. So what is this? This is.
Sir, this is WinRAR.
This is WinRAR. There also you have the virus scanning, but that is just a feature, right? That is not a software to scan viruses, but that is just a feature. You can just close it with this one. Close using this one because it's you are using a trial version, right? 14 days trial software. So you have that facility here also, but I think you can search for Defender. Can you search Defender? Type Defender there. Windows Defender or Defender. DEFE. DEFE. All right, now search it. Isn't it searching? So you can use the Cortana. Can I try to use Cortana to search this one? Second. And search for Defender. You have to speak out, I think. Oh, ask. Yes, Defender, search Defender. Your one is not searching, don't know why. Type there. Type it, but here you can type. Ask Cortana, you can just type it. No.
So we have to ask Cortana to open the Defender.
Sorry.
We have to ask like, hey Cortana, open the Defender. Microsoft.
Yeah. You can ask as a question, but just say open Defender, that will open. Okay. Anyway. You don't want to write the full question. Instead of that, you can speak out, right? Or anyway, anything, right? Yeah, type it. Come on, and then type it. You don't have it seems, right? Okay. So, but normally it's there by default, it's there. Can anyone else show what is Defender? Sasiru. Sasiru, come on, type it and ask, or we can ask it using the mic. Or you can search it. The simplest way you can search. Okay, here you can see Windows Defender Firewall and Advanced Security. I think others can see the results. Windows Defender Firewall and Advanced Security. All right. So that is basically the screen is somewhat stuck in the middle, but still you can slightly see, right? The screen struck. You can slightly see that. Okay, you can open Defender. Defender is default app for Microsoft. If you don't have, you can install that. Right? Not this Defender, Windows Defender. Okay, here Microsoft Defender. Right, you can just install that. If you don't have it, you can install it. So that is from Microsoft. But there are many alternatives. You can scan with Avira, ESET. Right. So there are free versions. You can install antiviruses from there. And when you go to Virus Total, there will be a lot of viruses, virus guards listed. So let me go and scan a file. So this is when you have like, so if you get a suspicious file, if you get a file where it's suspicious, you can scan this with this virustotal.com website, and it will scan with different antiviruses. You can see these, all these are antivirus softwares. Acrobate, Bitdefender, Avira, eScan, Siren, Kinsoft, so McAfee, Kaspersky, right? You can see a lot of list of antiviruses that you can use to install. You can use to check that, right? All these things are, and eScan, right? So Max, Leonic, Kinsoft, nano antivirus, rise in force. So these are some
Malware bytes.
malware bytes. There are a lot. Okay, Budhe. So we'll learn about that in future. So let's how to scan for virus and how to remove the virus. We'll learn it in the future lesson. Anyway, when you go out and come home, you need to clean yourself. No, similar to that, when you are using external storage, because these external storages are going out and coming, always you need to plug this to a kind of computer or device. So better you scan this before connecting to the internal system. Similar to when you go out and come inside, you need to clean yourself. So these external drives, when you connect it, you need to clean it and scan it for viruses. These are the things that you can do to protect your devices. Okay, the next important thing is how can we power on the computer? Okay, let's write down that. Let's write down that first. After that, I'll anyway share this note to you today. So by next week, you can get this. So please write down how to turn on a computer properly. Please write down in your book for the moment. Next day, I'll share you the tute. How to properly turn on the computer, or how to turn on a computer properly. Okay, so please write down under that. Lights, fans, TVs, radios can be plugged into the power source, current, and turn on immediately. And turn them or turned on immediately. When we unplug those from power, it will be turned off. When we unplug from the power, it will be turned off. Computers cannot be turned on and turned off similar to those. Turning on a computer is a step-by-step procedure, and it is called booting up. In this process, it will check for the basic hardware requirements and connectivity, and then hand over the booting process to the system software called operating system. You can say as example Windows. So please write down that, and I'll give the remaining part after you finish writing, because I know it will take some time. Look at the screen and start writing. Once you are done, please indicate.
Please say I have
You
read.
have time, don't worry, you can write while the next part also, you can write while I'm talking the next part. Right. Turning on the computer. So this is called, this is a special word, this is called booting now. We don't, actually, if you want to turn on a bulb, right, if you want to turn on a bulb, we don't call booting up a bulb. If you want to turn on a fan, we are not calling that booting up a fan, booting up a TV. But for a computer, we call booting up. Booting up means, so it is like it's similar, think like when you put your shoes, when you put your boots, first you have to prepare your leg and then put a sock, and then after putting socks, and then you can, if there is a lace, you have to loose it and then put the shoe and then tie it properly. Likewise, it is step-by-step process. So that is what the name is booting up. Step-by-step process. You have to turn on. Then when you turn on, it will first check the basic hardware requirement. All the hardware devices are present. Then it will hand over the turn on process to the operating system. Operating system is a system software, and that is example Windows. And after that, Windows will display, right? Finally, what? Finally, Windows will display the login screen, the user. If there is a password, user needs to type that. User need to type that and log in. So see, it is not easy. So the user needs to type that and log in. So that is the process of booting. If there are no password, then within one click, he or she can log in. So then, similar to that, you have a process to turn off the computer. Okay, first write the turn on process, and then, so let's write the turn off process as well. Actually, you know what is the name of turn off process? Turn on process is booting. Turn off process? Turn off process. Turn off.
Shutting down?
Yes, that is called shutting down. Right, that is called shutting down. So you can write the same. Turning off the computer is also a step-by-step procedure, and it is called shutting down. Booting up and shutting down. Shutting down is the, in this process, it will close all the running applications and let user save any changes made to the documents. Let the user, right? Let the user save any changes made to the documents clear the memory and processor, turn off running devices, and finally turn off the power unit. Then you can switch off the computer from the plug. So see, that is also a step-by-step process. I'll explain, please write down and again indicate once you're done. While writing, just focus. We need to discuss about, now we know how to turn on and turn off the computer properly. So if you want to shut down, so no, but actually for turn on, there's a button. When you want to turn on the computer, there is a button. You can, first of all, you can check the plug. If plugs are properly connected, then you can turn on the UPS, uninterrupted power supply. Some of you might have UPS, but some of you might not have. Okay, tell me how many of you have UPS at home? UPS, uninterrupted power supply. How many of you have UPS at home?
Sir, I have one, but it's broken.
It's broken. Okay, some of you have UPS at home. So,
Sir.
right. So if you have laptop, actually you don't need UPS. If you have laptop, you don't need UPS. But if you don't have laptop, sometimes if you have desktop, it is better to have UPS because these days, you know, right, there are a lot of power cuts, no sudden power cuts. So when the power cuts are there, your computer might turn off as a bulb, but that is not suitable. I said that it should be turned off properly with the process. But if you suddenly turn off, it might damage your data, it might damage your hard disk, and your memory, your processor, your motherboard. Anything can be damaged easily. Therefore, you need to have a proper power backup. That is called power backup. UPS will give a time to shut down your computer when power goes. So let's say power is off, power is gone. Current එක නැති වුණාම එයා පොඩි time එකක් දෙනවා අපිට shut down කරගන්න. So normally UPS is not there to, UPS is not providing current forever, for long time. No, it's providing maybe 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Likewise, there is a power backup. Within that time, you have to save your content and shut down the computer until the power comes. Right? That is why UPS is there. Yeah, okay, the first thing is plug, second is UPS, third is the system unit, and finally the monitor. This is how you turn on. First plug, then the UPS, third is, you can see here in this diagram, first power supply, then the UPS, then the system unit or the computer power or system unit, and finally the monitor. When you shut down, you don't have button. Actually, for laptop, you have only one button, right? To do all these tasks, you have one button. Right? You have one button. And when you shut down, when you shut down similar to that, first of all, you have to shut down from the settings, or you can go to the start menu and select shutdown. When you select the shutdown, it will slowly turn off the computer. After turning off, after the computer screen goes black, you can turn off the screen and then the UPS and then the power. That is reverse, right? Make you don't have the power button and power button here and power button here. Will not be there. Actually, power button in the third step is not there when you shut down. When you shut down, you have to shut down from the software here, Mac shutdown. In Windows also, when you go to the Windows menu in the bottom, you can see shutdown. When you shut down, it will turn off. Finally, the computer screen goes black. Then you can turn off. When the computer screen goes black, you can turn off, right? When the computer screen goes black, you can turn off the monitor, and then you can turn off the UPS, and finally you can turn off from the plug. Right. So then when using computer in the computer lab, So there are some good practices. These are not rules, but these are good practices, good things. So these good things are there in your life also. So one common thing is do not disturb others, right? That you already know. Do not disturb others. That is a life practice, a good practice. And another thing is avoid, right? Avoid secretly checking others' files, messages. So that is also unethical, right? If you check secretly without their permission, their files and their screen, that is unethical. So please avoid from that. Do not secretly or do not access their files. Do not access their files. That is bad. And right, avoid hacking. So don't hack into others' computers. So hacking means unauthorized access, right? Then so do not repair or do not maintain without your teacher's instruction or without proper instructions. If you think the machine is broken, if you think there is something wrong, do not try to repair without telling it to the teacher. First of all, you have to tell it to the teacher, and finally, if teacher asks, do this, then you can follow it. Or you can suggest teacher, so shall I repair like this? Then if she agrees or if she or he agrees, you can do that. Again, without the permission, do not uninstall, do not delete, do not change anything, any program. So that is also bad. That is also unethical. And so another thing, this is very important. Sometimes your friends might tell, or maybe your brother, sister, they might tell. So there is a free software. So you have to first check whether it is actually free or it is kind of hacked or tracked software. It is kind of tracked software or fake software. So let's say somebody is saying, I have Windows and it is free. I can give it to you. But actually, Windows, to get Windows, you need license. If you are getting this without license, it is unethical. It is bad. It is not a good thing. But if somebody says, I have Ubuntu, it is free. Yes, Ubuntu is free. That you can install. Some are free. Those free software you can install. But some are actually, these are not free. Some are not free. For these things, you need to pay and get the license. So without using this without license is a bad practice. So always use the license. Right? When you don't have the license, you can purchase, or you can ask your parents, or you can ask your teachers to purchase that. Right? Using software without license. Yes, Pute.
Sir, yesterday I downloaded the full Office package for free.
Okay.
But still it's working.
Yeah, it can work. So that is not the problem of working or not working. So your free software might work, right? But the thing is, normally they will give this for 40 days or 30 days or 7 days. That is the normal practice, not for the lifetime. But if it is given for the lifetime, it is a fakely used copy. It is a fake. It is basically it's a tracked version. It is altered version. It is illegal version. But if it is 7 days free, yes, okay. 30 days free, yes, okay. 40 days free, okay. Some are completely free. But you have to check whether is it actually given for free from their official site. If it is actually given for free in the official site, yes, that is also acceptable. But when it says official site, 7 days free. But if you are using lifetime free, so the software is tracked. Software is illegal. Right? And also you don't access internet without the teacher's permission again. So when you're accessing internet without teacher's permission, again, that's a problem. So what are the good practices? Do not disturb others. Do not hack into others' computers. Do not view or edit their files without their permission. Always get a license copy. If not, get a free copy, available free version, but don't track the software. Tracking means breaking the software. And Do not access internet without your teacher's permission or without your school permission. Do not install, uninstall things without permission. Do not repair the computer without the instructions. So these things you need to follow when you're inside the lab. Even though you know things very well, still ethically you need to ask from your teacher. So let's say your teacher don't know, your teacher doesn't know. So that can happen, Putte. Sometimes some teachers, even myself, I don't know everything. So some of the tasks, sorry, some of the tasks I don't know. Right? So knowing everything is not possible. Knowing everything is not possible. Because for some tasks, sometimes you have better idea than me. So do your teachers. Your teacher might not know the particular task. So you know how to do that. But still, you have to be ethical. Ask from the teacher, teacher, I know how to do this. Is it okay to try this? Shall I try this? Likewise, you need to ask from the teacher. And with the permission, you can do. But without permission, do not try to show colors. So don't try to suppress the teacher, right? So that is not acceptable because that is unethical, right? Ultimately, if something happened to the computer, the teacher is also responsible, no? So these are called computer ethics. Ethics means good practices. Okay, next day I think we need to learn about the health issues. But before we finish, I would like to emphasize, highlight this and finish the class. So that is the posture, how to maintain the correct posture when you are sitting in front of the computer. So this is very important. If you can maintain this posture, so you can actually, so these are lifesavers, because if you are not going to maintain this posture, sometimes you will get repetitive strain injuries or injuries.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, last day we did.
Yeah, we did that. Actually, we did that for the examination, no? Right?
Yes.
But I didn't explain that properly, right, as a lesson. So today I'm going to explain this as a lesson. So you can see there is a small tilt in the screen. And when you link this, you can see there is it's like a triangle, right? So this is the shape, this is the perspective that you need to maintain. So what is B? So what is the gap that you need to maintain? It should be 18 to 28 inches. 18 to 28 inches, or you can say 1.5 feet to 2 feet. 1.5 to 2 feet. And 1.5 to 2.5 maybe. 1.5 to 2.5. Or 1.5 to 2 feet is generally. So that distance you need to maintain. Not too close. If it is like 6 inches, it is too close. If it is 1 meter, too far. 1 meter is too far. 6 inches, too close. So maintain between 18 to 28. Check whether you are currently maintaining that. ඔයාටත් බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැනටත් මේ වගේ දුරක් තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ. And another thing is, so you can see your arms, legs. So this wrist position, leg position, eye position, or the head position, these are parallel, right? Arm or the wrist, then the leg, upper leg, and the eye position or the head position, these are parallel. And your back and neck is perpendicular to these parallel positions. Perpendicular means ලම්බකයි කියන්නේ කෙලින් තියෙන මේ වගේ. පොළවට ලම්බකව කෙලින්. It is perpendicular. So you have 90 degrees, right? Suppose we can't maintain exactly 90 degrees, but at least try to make, actually this is to keep your head and neck straight away. Actually, it has back support. This is curvy, right? This is not straight. This is curvy. Curvy shape will give a back support because our backbone is also curvy, no? It's like this. The backbone is not really straight. It is curvy like this, right? So therefore, you need the curvy back to support you. And if your legs are not touching the ground, so you can use a supportive part. Because you need to maintain this portion. Actually, you need support for that. Otherwise, you have to stand from your fingers, it is difficult. If you maintain this posture, so it will be healthy. So try your level best to maintain this posture when you are using computer for long time. And I said another thing, can you remember? I said another important thing when you're using the computer. Every 40 minutes or every 30 minutes, you need to do small exercise. What is that?
We have to look at a very long distance.
Yes, look, you have to look at a far place, something far away from you. Maybe a sky, maybe a mountain, maybe a hill, something which is far away from you. You have to look at a long distance. So, and that will give you a relax. That will relax your eyes. That will give a rest to your eyes. Therefore, you need to do this at least every 30 minutes if you can do, that is better. Another thing, you have to continue to blink your eyes. Why you should continue to blink your eyes? What's the reason? Why should you blink your eyes?
Because we are not blinking eyes, we are using mobile devices. It will harm
Yes,
your
normally we are not blinking eyes when looking at the mobile devices, but that will make our eye dry. So dry eyes will again a problem. If you want to keep it wet, so you have to purposely blink your eyes. You have to purposely blink your eyes to keep it wet, right? So that is another thing that you need to do. Okay, Pute, with that, I'll stop for today. Next day, I'll be discussing the remaining part. Actually, we'll be finishing the lesson next day. Then good night. See you all next week.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Have a good day.
Right, sir.